What's going on, y'all? Hey, I just wanted to make this video real quick. I played Highguard. I streamed it on Twitch for about, I'd say 3 hours in total. Just wanted to give my quick initial thoughts about what the game has to offer, like right now, from like day one, from like what I've seen and this, that, and the third. Nothing crazy. I feel as if the game is good. It's good. It's not great. It's not phenomenal, but it's good. It's fun. I don't think the game has enough for what it's offering right now to continue like in the long term. I've seen various comments and I do agree with, like it should have a larger game mode. Not game mode, but like a larger instead of 3v, because it's 3v3. The only game mode you can play is siege mode, and it's 3v3, which kind of threw me off when I first launched up a match, like an actual match. And I'm kind of indifferent about it not having a competitive, like a ranked mode at launch. It's kind of indifferent for me. I feel as if they would have had it from the beginning, it would have added a little bit more substance to the game, given what it has. But 3v3 ain't it. It's not it. The maps are too big. The maps are too big for 3v3. The sieges themselves, it's like it works perfectly for the sieges themselves, but the overall map is just too big. I see how the game, like it has like different qualities from like different games, from different, like whether it's a looter shooter like Apex Legends. Obviously the people who made the teams from the people who made Apex Legends and Titanfall came together for their own studio and made this game. That's why you can see things like loot chests and stuff like that with gear in it. You can see that stuff, like, because it came from their game, so they was like, let's just put this stuff that worked in our games in here, and boom. I feel as if the whole chest thing, it shouldn't be a thing. Maybe like add like some PvE type enemies to where you can add them to like a contested zone that both sides can like fight over, more like how League of Legends and Dota has like their different monsters that you can fight. If you never play League of Legends and Dota, they have in Dota they have Roshan, and I can't remember the name of the dragons and that giant chimera, the giant snake looking thing or whatever. But they give the teams and like the opposing minions like buffs and stuff like that, make them stronger. It's that and the third. But like have like some kind of like contested zone or something like that for us to do in the meantime, because like, yeah, it's like you start, you grab your gear, and then you wait for the shield breaker to spawn. Each team fights over the shield breaker. One team gets the shield breaker, and then they try to make their way over to the opposing team's side. It's like it works. It works, but it's just like it doesn't at the same time. Hey, real quick, this is in the middle of me editing this video, but we're just gonna insert this into this video. I just had this crazy idea for what they could do. Now just watch. This is just a blank canvas and paint. So we're gonna do something a little different. Now, educate me if any other games do this. I haven't played every game on the face of the planet, so educate me if there are other games that do this. But if they do, this is good. Highland Entertainment, y'all could pick from them for the games that do this. But we're gonna do an attack and defend kind of side, like how the game already does. But we're gonna do blue for this side, and then we're gonna do red for this side. And just imagine that this is in scale of like how big the maps are, this, that, and the third. Now the routes for the game, these are still siege locations. These are still siege locations. So we'll just do S. I don't know. Hold on. Let's go back. These are still siege locations, but this is attack, and then this is defend. And these sides will swap after. So like each team will have a chance to attack and defend, right? So it's based on a pathway. Now this is the main pathway to get from from the attack. Like if you're defending, your job is, yeah, like you're if you're defending, your job is to defend this. If you're an attacker, your job is to attack this place. And then like vice versa, it'll switch. So like then this place will be attack, and then this place will be defend. So, like I said, still keeping the siege mechanics in place. Now, off on the other side, you'll like off on the sides over here, you'll have things like how I mentioned the whole PVE, like enemies and this, that, and the third. This side over here will have an NPC to help the defenders defend their base, and then like over here, you'll have an NPC like an AOE, like an enemy that will help the attackers attack the defender's base. But you make this 6v6, right? And then you can communicate with your team X, Y, and Z, because these enemies will be up for grabs, right? These enemies will be up for grabs. And if the defenders decide they want to go over here to the attacker side and still their boss, they'll get a buff. But it won't be the same buff the attackers get, because it won't mean anything, right? And it's vice versa. The attackers can go over here and kill the defenders buff, so they can get a buff that the defenders won't be able to get, because it won't be any use to have a defender's buff, because you're not defending anything, you're attacking. But it won't be the same as if they were to get the same buffs, if that makes sense. It's like if the defenders kill their NPC, they get a specific buff to help them defend, and then vice versa for attack, or for if you're attacking. And then you'll still have your vendors. You know what I mean? You can still have like a vendor. Hold on. You can still have a vendor, like, I don't know, at home base. You can still have your vendors. And we're just gonna mirror everything just to make it simple. We're just gonna mirror everything. And then you still have like I said, you still have your vendors. And you can still buy your armor, you can still buy your weapons, you can still buy your all the other stuff, your siege weapons, this, that, and the third. But the main goal isn't just like a team of 6 could effectively attack the enemy's base and destroy it, but the goal is to get the siege breaker, like the siege breaker sword or whatever. But instead of it being just a sword, like that siege machine that spawns when you use a sword, it's just progressively moving. It's just continuously moving across the middle of the map. And in order for it to progress faster, you have to complete objectives across the map. And it's the defender's job to stop you from doing that. And there will be like cues that the announcer makes or whatever that the defenders are knowing about. And then they can decide what needs to be stopped first based on what needs to be the priority. You know? Yeah, that comes with communicating with your team, texting in the chat if it has text, if it has like a chat channel, you know what I mean, between your teammates. But like they'll like be like various different objectives that you can do as the game goes on to help the defenders or the attackers progress across this pathway. It doesn't have to be a bridge. It could be just a normal pathway on the ground, but they're just trying to get the siege machine can't be damaged. And we'll make it to where the siege machine can't be jumped on by the attackers or defenders, because you'll have some people doing some wonky things by jumping on the top of the tower or whatever and trying to peek over everything with a sniper rifle. I can already see it. It's gonna happen. But yeah, still with the locked rooms. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but like there are rooms that are like have walls, and you can use your siege weapons to break down the walls, and they'll have like multiple chests inside, and you can have those like sprinkled or whatever. Let's use a different color. Let's use a different color than black. Let's use I don't know, light blue. You can still have your, you know, chest rooms or whatever, like just sprinkled or whatever across, and then you could probably have like probably have like a big one. Let's do that. You could probably have like a big one. Let's do yellow. You can have a no, not yellow. Screw yellow. I don't know, orange. You could have like a big one, right? Once the siege hits the middle, or like once the timer meets like halfway, there's like a room that's always here. It doesn't like just magically spawn in, but like there's a room that'll open up, or like you can go open it up, but it's like bigger. It's got like 8 chests inside. You know what I mean? It's got like all different kinds of things, and like I said, still with the crazy gear, you can still get crazy buffed gear, that can help your team either attack or defend. You know, but you could still make the maps big. I guess you could still make them big, but I don't know. They would have to be pretty big for this for this, like, I guess, like this progression system to actually matter, because you don't want it too short to where like, okay, as defenders we only got about 5 minutes to figure out what the hell, you know. You want it like, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes a piece. Like if you were to just let the attackers do their objectives across the map and get their buffs and stuff like that, it'd take like 15 minutes for this thing to get over here, you know. But then but as the defenders and the attackers are like doing their thing, crossing paths, and they're sabotaging the attackers from doing whatever it is that they got to do. Contested zones, you could do like I don't know. You could have like some NPCs or whatever that'll like help you out or something like that. That'll like heal your party or something like that. You know what I mean? Nothing like crazy to where like no matter how much healing, no matter how much damage you do to the enemy team or whatever, they just won't die. But like make it substantial enough to where it's just like, okay, we got to kill that healer. Kill the healer. You know? I don't know. That's something. Something I just randomly thought about. Just came off the top of the head, but I feel as if this would be a whole lot better than what it is. And maybe they got it in the works. Maybe it's something that they already done got figured out. I could see it for the game. I could see this for the game or something like that, but I don't know. Who knows? All right, back to the normal video. But what I can say is that you have something really good going for you. There's like, it's a great foundation here. Build on it. Build on this. I'm not gonna say that the game feels as if like it shouldn't have been released yet, because it does feel as if it should have been released, because it feels like a completed game. Like your vision, I could tell that the vision that you have for this game is exactly what we're playing right now, but it's not enough. It's not enough. 5v5, I feel as if would add a substantial amount of praise to this game. The maps just feel too big for three players. They feel too big. Add some kind of like contested zones. And when I mean contested zones, I don't mean like how the supply drops are, because there are supply drops. I don't mean like the supply drops. Like people hardly even go for those anyway, you know? But like I played for 3 hours, and there was only one time I went to a supply drop with another teammate where there was the enemy team there, unless they spawn on like multiple sides or like different sides of the map. But I guarantee you that they probably don't. But there was only one time where there was like the enemy team that they were like running over to where the supply drop was, to contest it. But like make it to where like there's like a heavily contested area that has like, and like the gear. Oh, I'm so glad I thought about this. The gear. Make the gear like busted. Let's take Slade, for example. I think that's what his name is. It's Slade. If I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. I don't want to look it up. I'm sorry. But I think it's Slade. But he has like an ultimate ability to where he could cast fireballs from the sky, which is cool. But like give us like some legendary armor. And when I mean busted, to where it's just like, okay, well, Now, instead of you calling meteors from a meteor shower from the sky, now your ultimate ability is modified to where you can charge up one large meteor and shoot it in a direction, and it causes a massive explosion. You know what I mean? Like it'll just blow the doors or whatever off all the entire structure, or it's like a one shot or something like that. You know what I mean? Keep the cooldowns the same. The cooldowns feel long enough. It feels like the cooldowns for the ultimate abilities feel as if like if you use it, know when you're gonna use it because you're not gonna be able to spam this. You know, I was able to use it 3 times in one game because the game was long enough. But like, typically, you get it like twice. You get it like twice. You know. But yeah, the gear, man. Like, make the gear like fun to use. When I was picking up the weapons or the gear, I was just looking for color and rarity. There was nothing saying like, hey, this has like higher like there was no like obviously a higher rarity means more damage. You know what I mean? Because you're not finna use a common rarity item or whatever in the late game of like in the late rounds, because you're not gonna kill anybody with that. You're not gonna kill anybody. So obviously, like the implied task is to get higher tier weapons so you could do more damage. But it feels as if like it's just like you're just like if everybody was to have like white like medium tier like common quality weapons and armor, like at the end of the round, the TTK would have been the exact same. TTK would have been the exact same. That's how I feel about it. You know, like there's no like, okay, well, if I use this shotgun has like a chance on like shooting a second bullet or something like that. And then they do have modifications for weapons like that, but it's not like insanely overpowered. Like these weapons need to be like overpowered. And like I know you're people who are, if you so happen to watch this video, you're gonna be like, oh no, what do you mean? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like that's just gonna create like a meta or like something or like whatever. No, but like make it engaging, to the point to where it's like I'm thinking about what weapon and what armor I'm gonna choose next. You know what I mean? Like if I have a helmet or something like that, like how in Apex, because I know these are people who made Apex. You know what I mean? You have certain pieces of body armor, like you have like I think it's like a legendary chest like armor or something like that where you can self-revive. Not saying do that in this game. Do not do that. It's so easy to revive your teammates in this game. There would be no point for that. But like, I don't know, something. You know, like make an armor piece to where it's like you have no armor but your health is like doubled or something like that, and you regen health like twice as fast. Or like something crazy, you know? Something crazy like that. I don't know. This just me spitballing now. That was my initial thoughts on Highguard. TLDR. The game is good. It's not great. It's worth playing, but not for the long run. And yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings today's video to a close. If you enjoyed it, ensure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below. All right. Love y'all. See you in the next one.